That is, first you need to engage, of course, the stakeholders to know what they need, what they want, and how we can integrate those needs and those concerns. Then you need to inform decision makers about what is happening, especially related to the environment. We are going to talk about these decision tools that helps policymakers to act. And in fact, this is the third part. We are going to talk a bit about action, about some tools that are useful to put those decisions working. For each of the panels, we have a leading panelist that will help in the discussion, and we have select a wonderful amount of people that I hope you will find really interesting. Because this is what we want. We want you, the audience, to learn maybe something new, or at least to stop or to finish this doubt that you have in mind. And I hope you find it interesting. For this, during the panel discussion, I ask you to put your questions in the chat, and I will be aware of it, and I will make, if it is allowed, I make some kind of selection, and then I say, there is somebody here that wants to ask, and then we will give you the floor to talk, to ask, and to discuss with the panelists. More information about the project in a moment. Besnik will talk about that. He will tell you about the project, and first of all, Joan Pino, the director of CREAF, that is the organizer of this meeting, will have a few words about the importance of the subject. And then if you want more information of the project, you have always the webpage. We have just released a new handbook where you have a lot of information about the good practices that today we are going to see only in short. We are more interested in how they implemented those good practices more than the good practice per se. So you have the handbook to find all the information about them. We have a video release, we have our newsletter, and if you are aware of social media, not like me, you have the hashtag ecosystem policy. So that's all from my part. Thank you again for coming, and I leave the floor to Joan Pino. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Enrique. Me, as a CREAF director, I just want to welcome you to this meeting of progress. It's a project especially relevant for us, as it looks for a shift in the regional governance and financial media for the conservation of biodiversity and the provision of ecosystem services based on a set of operational programs of the European Regional Development Funds. CREAF has a long tradition on the study or assessment of biodiversity and ecosystem services, and it is especially concerned about the need of tackling the conservation of intrinsic value of biodiversity and the promotion of the provision of ecosystem services by the same biodiversity, which is the part that we can translate into business opportunities. That's all from my side, just to give the floor to the following speaker, and good luck in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Joan, for your introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thank you very much for being here today with us. It's a pleasure to host you so numerous at our event. I'd like to thank our colleagues at CREAF, Enrique, Joan, Jordi, and all partners, of course, for organizing these meetings, and as well our speakers and panelists for intervening here today. My name is Besnik Mehmeti, and I am I am the project manager of the Progress project. I'll provide you a short introduction on the project. Second. So, Progress is an Interreg. You can see my presentation, right? Progress is an Interreg Europe project that focuses on eco-sustainability and ecosystem services. Before we start, I need to remind you that this event is being registered, so please inform us in the case you have any issue with that before being published for communication purposes. As I said, this online workshop is organized in the context of the Progress project, which is focused on the topic of biodiversity and ecosystem services. As all of us know, biodiversity is an essential element of life, is the very fabric of the natural capital. The enormous variety and complex interaction between species, no matter how small or insignificant they might seem, keep our ecosystem functional and make our economies productive. Nature, as you know, provides food, supplies clean air and water, sustain livelihoods, act as a buffer against extreme weather events, and regulate the climate. The COVID-19 pandemic is a reminder of the close relationship between human and planetary health. It's estimated that more than 75% of the infectious diseases in humans are from animal origin. Pathogens thrive where there are changes in the environment, like deforestation, and when natural ecosystems are under stress from human activity and from climate change. The biodiversity in our planet is threatened by unprecedented transformation and exploitation of terrestrial and marine ecosystems, driven mostly by the human activities. As you can see from the facts that I mentioned in my slide, it's estimated that more than 80% of the original forests that covered the earth thousands of years ago have been cleared, damaged, or fragmented. Or there are 1 million of animals and plant species at risk of extinction, many within decades. So there are a lot of facts that should bring us to sustain biodiversity and ecosystem services. And this is what our project intends to do, mostly by improving the implementation of the regional and local policies and strategies dedicated to the conservation of biodiversity and ecosystem services. And this, we aim to reach this objective by policy learning and capacity building activities.
Besnik, I think we don't see your progression of the slides.
Can you see it now?
We see the first.
Okay, sorry. Now?
No.
Just a second.
Sorry, you seem to be showing the PDF and not the presentation.
Now, I think it's changing, Besnik. Let's see. Now, okay.
Okay, good.
We see the last one, but we see not in the presentation mode.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the presentation mode. Now, Enrique?
No, not already.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go ahead without the presentation, but anyway. So, as I said, our project aims to improve the policy instrument at local and regional level, and we have, together with our partners, have chosen different policy instruments, some related to structural funds and other not, and I go very quickly on that. Interregional learning, as I said, is based on the exchange of experience on the way partners protect and value biodiversity and ecosystem services. And here we have four main topics that have two of them have already been discussed during the last two semesters. The costs and benefits of ecosystem services derived from land use was the topic of the last semester. The integration of the ecosystem concerns into sectoral policies and plan is the topic of this semester, and then in the next two semesters we'll focus on innovative financial and marketing mechanisms for the payment of ecosystem services and the landscape governance for economic and environmental sustainability. The partnership of the project is made mainly by local authorities or their representations and research centers and universities. So the lead partner is ANCI Toscana, the Association of the Tuscan Municipalities based in Florence. And then the other partners are the Riga Technical University, the Eastern and Midland Regional Assembly, the Tolna County Development Agency, CREAF in Barcelona, and the University of Craiova. I don't know if you can still see my presentation or not.
Not sorry, I think.
No. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my presentation. You have you can follow us in the website of the project, which is interregeurope.eu/progress. And the good practice will be available on the library. Today, our communication officer will upload also the handbook of the good practices selected on this topic. So please register and stay tuned on the Progress webpage. And we have also the first video of the project about a good practices called SITCEL that was presented during last semester online. As Enrique said, for the social media, we will use the hashtag ecosystem policy. And I'd like just to say that the hosting team of this event is composed by myself, by Ms. Annabel Sanchez, who will facilitate the first panel on engaging stakeholders on environmental decision making. Carles Castel will moderate the second panel on informing decision makers with mapping and definition tools, and Pilar Andres, the third panel on acting for forest conservation and restoration. And at the end, Enrique Doblas from CREAF will present the conclusions of the today's workshop. As Enrique mentioned, the high number of participants at our event makes a bit challenging the interactions between participants. So please use the chat for any question you may have for the speakers and coordinators of each session, and we'll make sure to distribute them to the relevant speakers. Now I pass the floor to Ms. Annabel Sanchez for the moderation of the first panel, and of course I remain at your service for any question you may have on the project. Sorry for the inconvenience of not showing the slides, but this is the direct, the live stream.